Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my quick thoughts, my quick reaction to the new Yorgos Lanthimos film, Poor Things. Now, I went into this film interested, excited. The plot seemed to be the thing from the trailers that I gleaned to, as well as the interesting characters. But to be honest, Yorgos Lanthimos is not really my cup of tea, or has been very kind of hit and miss, I guess. I was not a big fan of The Lobster. The Favorite I liked, but didn't love on the level that a lot of other people did. And I thought that Dogtooth was quite an interesting film. I was positive on it, but it was just a movie I have no real interest in ever seeing again, which is not something I can usually say for movies that I liked. But this is just one I just didn't really feel like going back to ever. So for Poor Things, I didn't know how to, feel about the film going in. Let me say a couple things that I really enjoyed about the film is that Yorgos Lanthimos has solidified with this film that he is very much in a league with other filmmakers like David Lynch, where he is able to create these worlds that really only he can play in. I mean, in essence, this plot line can boil down to a variation on Frankenstein, or the, God and Adam kind of storyline. It's very simplistic in terms of what it's conveying at the beginning of the film, but Lanthimos is able to integrate all these interesting layers to it as well. The only main female character of the film really is the Emma Stone character, Bella Baxter, and she gains agency as the film comes on, but she is a woman who has hopes and dreams and goals and things she wants to accomplish, and yet the entire film is framed around the men in her life that are making the decisions for her, trapping her in that realm of, well, you have to do this because this is the rules. This is how it's played out. So what she's having to deal with is, in essence, a patriarchal trap, and trying to kind of live her life and be able to make the mistakes that she wants to make, or use her body for whatever she wants to. And in that way, it doesn't always make her... She's a character that you sometimes don't like because she doesn't make the decisions that you would want her to make. But at the same time, that's kind of the point, is you're not really meant to just like her based on that ideal. So she's a flawed, visually distinctive character. Emma Stone steals every scene she's in, which is interesting because she's in scenes with Willem Dafoe. But then at the same time, Mark Ruffalo is in the film, and he steals every scene he's in, even away from Emma Stone. And then she steals it back, and then they steal it back and forth again. They have such an interesting dynamic power play throughout the film. If for nothing else, the sequences with Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo vying for control of this little relationship that they have, very interesting stuff. I really like Gerard Carmichael as well. Not a major character in the film, but he's there. Willem Dafoe is fantastic for the scenes that he's in, but he's not in the film as much as you might think. He kind of serves that kind of the progenitor of the story, but in a lot of ways it's not his story to tell. So I think one thing I loved about the film is I love the production design. I love the cinematography, how the film has this God's eye view a lot of the times, where kind of the narrative and the visual appeal is folding back in on itself. It's a very ocular kind of viewpoint. It's almost like Yorgos is making us the god of the story. We are the curious ones looking in on the creatures we've created. And he's letting us view their lives as they play out. And I thought that was very interesting and unique. And again, it's a lot of elements that I think we've seen before, but we've never seen them put together in this specific way. Lanthimos was able to buy 5 or 6 different puzzles that we've assembled before, and he's able to find ways to fit those puzzle pieces together and create something wholly unique out of it. Oh, hi, Spike. So I really enjoyed the film. I will say this, it's about 2 hours and 21 minutes. The movie is 20 minutes too long. This movie does not need to be 2.5 hours. It doesn't. The film is too long. That much has to be said. And I think that there's a portion of the film where I think we hit an ending that I think us as audience members could consider our ending of the film. And then it goes on for another 10, 15 minutes. There's kind of it's an important subplot, but at the same time, it's not really important in the sense that it doesn't make Bella's journey any different, this last subplot that takes place. primarily at this, new home that she visits and everything like that. I don't think that is a necessary addition to the film. So those are some things I would change about it. I think you could get the film under 2 hours, and I think it would flow a little bit better because I did feel the weight and I felt the length near the end of it, primarily in the third act of the film, because the journey was the most fun part of this. The second act, the interactions like that, there was a lot of laugh out loud moments, and there are even in the parts of the film that I think could be cut, but that's where I think the Kill Your Darlings really has to come into play there, is that there's some really funny scenes that are near the end of the film that I don't think really play in as much as they could. So I think you could trim the film a little bit. You could trim a couple of elements of the subplots. There's a couple areas where we kind of repeat ourselves a little bit, but beyond all that, the film looks gorgeous. I love the title cards, although I hate the end credits and the credits of the film because everything's written in really clunky writing all around the corners. I'm trying to read the credits, but the title cards are really cool, how they presented us in different chapters, basically, of Bella's journey. There's a lot of really great style to the film, and the style rarely feels like it's overbearing. There's just certain elements of the story's substance that I feel like were unnecessary to the journey that Bella's going on, whether or not they were enjoyable. But those are my thoughts on Yorgos Lanthimos' new film, Poor Things. I really enjoyed this movie. It might make my top 10. It might just barely miss it. It's the thing about Yorgos is I have to wait like a week and let myself decompress and really think about it, because his stuff is just so cerebrally different than everything else I've come across. There are shades of the Elephant Man in this film, but that's the closest I can even really approximate what this is. It's kind of Frankenstein, Elephant Man-ish, through the lens of The Lobster and The Favorite. So it's a unique experience, one that I don't think you'll be able to replicate this year. So go ahead and check out the film when it comes out very soon, and check out my review over on goatfilmreviews.com when I post that as well. You can get the full review of my full thoughts on the film, and you can also find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. That's at Almighty Goatman. And you can find my show Kyle and Nick on Film that I co-host with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes every week of that show. You can find all of those links down in the description right there. Make sure to like and subscribe. There's 2 free things you can do to help support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time.